Hey up guys, welcome back to Piggy Pen's Tube. If it's your first time here, my name's Jo. Welcome. So this is a space where I share my colouring life with you on YouTube, and I've been doing this for just over 6 weeks on YouTube, and I've been adult colouring for about since the end of July, August, September, October, yes. 22nd of July is when I got my first Hoo markers and my first Cute and Cozy book, and then I've gradually gone on to other media and other books. So I love all types of colouring and I love all types of media, so I have got myself a few pencil sets over the last few months. Yes, I've spent a lot of money on this hobby, but I'm allowed to because I'm an adult and I can do what I want. So anyway, if you watch my channel before, you'll know that I love my polychromos. So I colour in pencil a lot with polychromos. I chose a wax pencil of choice a few months ago, and I went for Derwent Chromaflows after watching lots of comparison videos between these and Prismacolor Premiers. And then recently, and I'll talk about this more later, recently I found myself with an opportunity to buy a set of Luminance, 100 Luminance for 150 quid on Facebook Marketplace, brand new in the cellophane. So I've now had chance to use quite a variety of pencils. I do also have these, and I absolutely love them, Castle Arts Harmonious range. I'm not talking about these pencils today because I'm trying to stick to I'm doing a little bit of an experiment for myself, really, around the pencils that I've selected in the higher, sort of the more high-end pencils, I guess people would refer to them as. They cost more money because they're supposed to be better quality. And I'm somebody who I do like to buy once, so very rarely. These were my wax pencil of choice. If these hadn't have been a bargain, I wouldn't have got them because I've already got my wax pencil that I chose. My my polychromos are my predominantly oil-based pencil of choice. So I'm happy with what I've got. These are just an added bonus. I have been loving them though, I will say that. What this video is about is when I were conducting my research on which wax pencil to get to work on pages where I didn't want to use oil-based, I found a lot of people found these comparable to Prismacolors, which we know are widely loved by the adult colouring community. But I chose these because I'm from the UK. This is a brand that I remember from my childhood. It's a British brand, so I thought, and that, you know, I can get them open stock quite easily. And in the end, there weren't much between them, but I went for Chromaflows. However, I still am bothered by this nagging feeling that I'm missing out on something with Prismacolors. So I've treated myself to a little tin of Prismacolors, and today I'm going to compare these three with each other and see how I feel about Prismacolors. Now I finally get my hands on some. This will be the first time ever I've touched the legendary Prismacolor, so I'm super excited about it. But I'm not a content creator that ever wants to really be involved with any brands, or I'm not an Amazon affiliate. I'm not sponsored. I'm just like all you guys colouring in your adult colouring books at home. So what I'll be giving you is my honest opinion on how I think these compare to what I'm used to. I haven't included my polychromos because this is a wax predominantly wax-based pencil comparison, and I have to say this on all my videos about pencils. I do know that all pencils have lots of ingredients. All pencils nearly always have some oil and some wax. I'm talking about the difference between one that's got high content of oil and another that's got a high content of wax. Wax making them buttery and soft and smooshable, and oil-based being harder, retaining that lovely nib, great for fine detail and things like that. So I'm just focusing on wax today. What I know about these three brands at the moment, what I hear about Prismacolor is that they are the favourite choice for most adult colourists. I believe that the butter is soft, and that the colour range is wonderful. I'm not too worried about the colour range. I'm looking for how they work on the page. I will say that I won't talk much about colour range. There's loads of comparison videos out there, by the way. This isn't going to be the best one. This is just my take on it. So if you're interested in what my opinions are, then, you know, this is what you're going to get today. So I'm not too bothered about colour range, but I am interested in how they feel when I'm working them onto or into the paper. So I also hear about Prismacolors that the barrel itself is quite poorly made in some cases. The cord doesn't often run central down the centre. I hear that there's a lot of breakages when sharpening. So they're the cons, I suppose, to Prismacolor that are here. Derwent Chromaflow, I don't hear too many cons about. Basically, when I was doing my research, what I came away feeling was these were quite comparable, easily comparable to Prismacolor, as good, as buttery, or almost as buttery, but the barrel itself is higher quality than the Prismacolor barrel. So while these purport to be extremely buttery, these, I think I came away with the idea that they're really quite buttery, but not quite as buttery soft as these ones. And the Luminance, these are prized because of the light fastness mainly, which doesn't matter to adult colourists so much, because we're not going to display our work so much in frames, or we're not selling it. So the light fast rating, which is a large portion of the price for these, doesn't matter so much to me. But they are supposed to be, people will say that they're the best wax-based pencil in the world. The, you know, a nice soft buttery pencil, and they're the best. That's what a lot of people think. So there's other. Don't get me wrong. There's other brands in this category, but I'm not sponsored. This is just what I've got to compare. I ain't got. I don't possess any Holbeins. I don't possess. Oh, what's that other brand? I can't remember anyway. But yeah, in this sort of, these aren't even in the same price range. These are extremely high end, like artist grade, and these are like higher end hobby grade, I would say. So, because I've got them for 150 quid, I'm a lucky girl. But yes, I'm comparing this for myself to work out what I'm going to use moving forwards in what kind of books, because these have been great, but they are extremely expensive, and this is where I'll talk about price for a second. So Prismacolors currently on Amazon UK for the 150 are £155. Chromaflows at the moment on Amazon are actually £140, but they're usually 150-ish. These, however, I don't think there's any stock on Amazon at the moment. From Caran, it's at 450 quid. 450 quid for 150 less for 50 less pencils. So you get 150 in the full sets of these, and just 100 of the Luminance. Excuse me. You will find them at Cult Pens though for around 325. But places like Cult Pens or maybe Jackson's. Amazon, when they did have stock, they were on there for 325. So I have them because they cost me the same as these would. If they were 325 or 450, I probably wouldn't have bought them. I might have been gifted them at some point by my lovely husband, and it was him that gifted me these. It was a surprise, but I would not have parted with my own money at that, you know, at 325 quid. I just wouldn't have done it. So that's the stats and what I know about these. It's hard to find people saying anything negative about Luminance apart from the price. And they are worth that price if you're an artist and you're looking for light fastness, you know. So anyway, what I thought I'd do is, I'll just move these to the side for a second. I've got this book and I found this picture in it which I thought would be perfect. 3 flowers. I purchased the Prismacolor Floral Botanical Garden set, 12 coloured pencils, because I thought testing, these will always come in handy anyway. I use a lot of pinks and greens for leaves, so that'll be good. So I'm going to do a flower. I'll do a leaf each with you, in each one. I'll do the Prismacolor last, and I will work with Chromaflows first, I think, then the Luminance, and then we'll try the Prismacolor, which I'm excited about. You guys, I know almost all of you will own Prismacolors, and I know when I did that that 6-week colour along on that Witchy page in Hannah Carlson book, we did as best to provide some suggested pencil matches for Prismacolors, because I don't have them. And that's another thing. I want to be able to, I want to know what you're experiencing with your pencils. You know, you guys are my YouTube colouring friends now, so I want to know what it's all about for you as well. So that's why I'm trying these out. And if I like them today, based on this, I'll be purchasing them today. Right, let's see if I want them or not, because I'll tell you something about me. I do like a lot of media, but I don't often repeat the same thing. If I can't tell that, if I don't feel these have got anything over these, I won't bother getting these, because, you know, why would I? As these run out, as these get shorter, and I might replace them with Prismacolors, so I can try them in future if they don't offer me any difference. But if the Prismacolors do offer me a difference to either of those other two brands, I will definitely be clicking checkout on my basket. Incidentally, these were in my basket on Prime Day, and they actually put them up to £187 on Prime Day. They actually put the price up, so I didn't buy them, and I was a bit angry. Anyway, moving on. So let's get these open now. So they've still got the cellophane on, so you know I haven't, there we go, haven't used them. And what I need to do first is I need to just swatch them. Not all of them, I'm just going to pick a couple of pinks. Just looking for, say, 2 or 3 pinks that'll work well together, and then I'll try and get the same colours. Ah, now I see straight away. Do you know something? It'll be a lovely thing, because these, I'll be honest, looking at these pencils, they're not nice to look at physically. There's staining on that one. The print's rubbing off them. I can see straight away they are a lower quality barrel. But if you guys love them as much as you do, despite that, these have to be good, don't they? That's my thinking. So yes, I'm very interested in how this is gonna pan out. Well, these 3 pinks seem to be calling to me, I suppose. Could go with them 2 purples, but I fancied doing 3 colours. Let's see how let me give them a little sharpen. Do I need to sharpen them? I'm only swatching colour out. I'll sharpen them. Right, so don't take any notice of my shading here. I'm just getting an idea of the colour. Not thinking too much about how they feel yet. I'm not blending them together yet. I just want to, I'm doing this so I can match my other Chromaflows and my Luminance up. Would I prefer these two? Would I prefer these 2 purples from the image? Yeah, I'm going to go with these purples instead. So I'll just do a 2. I'll just be using 2. Oops. Yeah, God, they feel really light. The Chromaflows are a bit like that. Oh yeah, and I can see. The thing is, the Chromaflows could be off centre, couldn't they? I can't see because I think they're capped at the end. But I will show you them when I get them out. So I like that they come in a tin, but I believe the full set's in a cardboard box, isn't it? Which is a shame. Or tell me, what's the cardboard box like? Is it any good? Is the cardboard box that the Prismacolors come in any good? Or do I need to buy a little pencil case as well? Alright, so I have got Dahlia Purple and Orchid. These, I thought these were American. These wrote in French. Oh, sorry, yeah, Dahlia. So there's two names on it, covering all bases. Well done, Prismacolor. Dahlia Purple and Orchid. Size of the writing on that one is bigger than on that one. None of this really bothers me if they work great. But yeah, that's totally different printing. And it's already coming off there. So I'll see what people say about the quality of the barrel. I'll just be even more impressed if it's you know, if they're as fantastic as you guys say. There must be, if you can see past that, because you know we all like things to look and feel nice, don't we? Right, I've just got a scrap of paper because I want to be able to butt up my swatches. So I want to get a decent match if I can. Oh, that's not good, is it? That sometimes happens though, even with, you know, most expensive pencil sets. That's a shame. Let me just sharpen that again. Alright, so I'm looking for something like these two colours. So these are the Chromaflows. And you get another layer if you're interested. Alright, let's get some matching done. I'll give you a closer look in a second in case you don't own any. That's pretty good. Midnight Mauve, it's not exact. That's a bit too purpley. This is quite a pinky colour. Hang on. Hang on, do we have a winner? That's not quite as dark. But I think it's the closest colour. Mardi Gras I'm going to go for. And for this colour, so that's the match to Dahlia Purple, and for the match to Orchid, I do love the colour range. I love these in Derwent Chromaflow. This Ash Rose, Almond Forest, Red Storm, Rose Quartz. They're all like a lavendery or a pinky, buffy colour. I do lots of these nice pale ones as well. And some of these like mangoey ones. Yeah, I do like Chromaflows. That's why I got them. Right, let's have a go. Ah, bang on. Light Heather. I think that's a pretty good match. Funnily enough, the one next to it is Orchid. Same name, but that's slightly pinker in the Chromaflow. So I'm going to go with Light Heather and Mardi Gras. I always rearrange the order of my pencils in my boxes to how I like to use them. Do you do that? So let's put them away for now and move on to Luminance. So these are a beautiful pencil. The Chromaflows are very much like the Prismacolor in terms of the weight. This is, you get a swatch sheet with it, but I like these from Colour with Claire. If you've never been, check out her website, and in the menu under charts, she has lots of blank versions of things that she's put into colour families. And sometimes I look at her colour families, and if they're how I would set them out, I use her swatch sheet. So yeah, that's what I've done here. And the Luminance, they are really good quality pencils. They come in a lovely box, really stiff. Foam under, I won't tip it up, but underneath here there's foam as well, so your pencils are fully protected. Each one's in a little individual foam thing, so they're never, you know that if I drop this box, I don't think it'd shatter anything in the pencil. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. They are beautiful though. There's a great nice colour range, and it's different as well, different again. So let me get my little swatch, and straight away oh, look at that. Ultramarine pink. Oh no, it's these two. Fab. So let's put them to one side. And let's get the book out. Find my page again. Right, it's a shiny sunflower. That's my Claro watercolours on that. I was just testing them, that's why it's all shiny. I have got some restraint, believe it or not. There we are. Okay, so this is Vibrant Wilds by Sarah Nicolite. The paper in it is terrific quality. So I'm not going to test on different papers today. I just want to get an idea of how they feel on the same bit of paper, whatever that may be. I use this book for experimenting sometimes because it's got such good paper in. Let's take a closer look at the pencils now, if you're interested. So Orchid and Dahlia Purple in Prismacolor. The core's quite central on that one. It's a little bit off centre on that one. And I've already spoken about the print. The Chromaflows, you know, these feel about the same weight. They've got, I love an end like that. But then, you know, I suppose the core could be off centre, we can't really tell. Sad. But they're lovely. It's easy to read the writing. So just looking at the pencil itself, they're a nice pencil then. And then the Luminance. I think these are, no, the Luminance just feel a tiny bit heavier, I would say. And you have a lovely wooden barrel, capped end, and you get the name and the number right on the end in that direction. So, shall we begin? I think I'll start with Chromaflows. And I will take this opportunity just to remind you that I am new to adult colouring since July. So I use all my pencils, including my Castle Arts, my Ink 10s, and yeah, my Polychromos. I kind of rotate through them because once I've done a page in Polychromos, I don't want to do another page in that straight away. So I tend to opt for maybe my Chromaflows next and vice versa. And I would generally work my way through. So every 5th page will probably be a Polychromos page, or every 4th page, you know. And same with the other brands. So if I add Prismacolors to my collection, yeah, you'll see more Prismacolor pages. Let's see if I like them. So I'm going to start just with, I'll start by sharpening my pencils. And I was reminding you about the fact that I'm relatively new to adult colouring. I didn't colour a lot with pencils as a child, but I did some coloured pencil colouring. I did more, you know, graphite pencil colouring, you know, just normal pencils. So try not to judge me on my technique. I do use a different technique with Polychromos than I do with my wax-based pencils. So with Polychromos, I'm building up lots of light layers, and I always start with the lightest shade. And with Prismacolors, I tend to start with not Prismacolors, with my wax-based, my Chromaflow or my Luminance, I tend to start with my darker shade. I don't ever listen to me to find out what's correct and what's not correct, because I don't know that. I'm not qualified to tell you that. All I can tell you is what I do. So this is nice to be back with you guys. Quite busy at the end of October. Got a bit crazy. A little bit crazy. Catching up. I had a very quiet first half of the month in terms of colouring because other things were going on. In my life, and I didn't really get going in the month till sort of halfway through. I was still active and I had something on the go at all times, but I just weren't making a lot of headway, is how I would describe it. I know you've got a top-down view, and you know some of you prefer an angle coming from here. 1 second, it's just the door. Hiya, oh wonderful, thanks ever so much. No worries.
Thank you.
Cheers now, bye. There we go, what's come for me. Pretend that don't exist for now. Right, back to colouring. Yeah, what were I saying? Yeah, you've got a top-down view, and I hope you can live with it for now, if that's all right, because I've got myself a no ring light, and at the moment I'm quite comfortable just sat here chatting and colouring away, so I hope that's okay for you. When I'm doing proper watch how I colour videos, colour alongs, I'll change the angle of that, I can promise you. But just for this little test, I'm not showing you how to colour, am I? I'm just colouring. So what has been going on with you guys? Isn't it a fun time? The end of the month and the start of the next month. In adult colouring world and on YouTube. Got so many cool completed pages videos to watch. I've watched loads of them. I'm halfway through Axic Fumbles. So I've seen a lot of my favourites already. I love the start of a new month because for me, I've got my completed pages video out. I feel like I can chill a little bit now for a week in terms of content because everybody's so busy watching completed pages videos, aren't they? So I feel like I can chill for a little bit. But as I always say, I don't do plans. If I've got something to share, like this was my plan today anyway, to test these pencils, I will share it with you guys. Because you're my colouring besties now. So tell me do you have both oil and wax-based pencils? And if you do, tell me how do you differ your colouring technique between the two? I'm extremely interested to hear from anybody who owns both or who owns all three of these brands, because I'd like to know what your thoughts are. How do you find them in comparison to each other? Are Luminance that good? Or are we just paying for the light fastness? Are they comparable to... Are Prismacolors comparable? Are Chromaflows comparable to either? I like the Chromaflows. They do feel buttery. They do feel waxy. And I would say... I'll talk more about Luminance when I get onto them, but I would say that they don't feel anywhere near as buttery as the Luminance. I'd say they feel waxier, which to me is two slightly different descriptions. These are a bit... Do you know them Castle Arts Harmonious? They're not a bad pencil. I quite like them. And do you know what else I rate as well? And I could have included them in this, but I've tried not to go too far because obviously there's all your colours, your Brute Funas, you know, your more budget-friendly options that I think are classed more as like student grade, aren't they, or whatever. But Faber-Castell Black Edition, I really rate them as a pencil. I keep forgetting I've got them though because they're not in the same place I store my pencils, just on a shelf outside of me. But they're in their own pencil case above me. So sometimes I forget I've got them. I need to use them more. Faber-Castell Black Editions. So yeah, this Chromaflows in this book doesn't feel too bad at all. I'm not a big burnisher. I don't mind my pencil shading to look like it's been shaded in pencil. I think I'm going to work on trying to get those lovely smooth. Looking at I just mentioned Axic Fumbles channel there. My God, her shading. It's just so smooth, beautiful. It looks like it's been airbrushed. And I know a lot of you enjoy that type of shading, so I'm sorry you don't get it a lot with me. But I'm going to work on it. It's something I'm going to work on because I quite like the style. It might not be my style, but I quite like the style. But yeah, don't over burnish. So I think I'm going to move on to... So that is the Chromaflow Mardi Gras Light Heather. I'm not worrying about light source and highlights. I just wanted to blend in pencil strokes from the darkest colour to the lightest colour. And again, I could do more layers and we could also start burnishing, but I'm going to leave it at that. And then we'll try Luminance. I think I'm going to do 3 petals of the same flower, side by side comparison, because I won't get round to completing this. I don't think I've got too much on anyway. So I might as well put the petals next to each other, haven't I? There we go. So these are Luminance. You can see I've enjoyed these two colours. I haven't had my Luminance long, but here we go then. Yeah, so straight away Luminance feel a lot more buttery than the Chromaflows. Doesn't mean that, I guess it doesn't mean that they're better at this point, but yeah, I think you can get a really thick, you can get a nice thick smushy layer very quickly with Luminance if you want to, because I can be a bit of a lazy pencil colourist. I'm hoping to though, when I've caught up with my goal, which if you haven't watched me before, check out, I don't know, maybe my last complete pages video where I talk about my goal for the end of the year. But once I've caught up and by New Year I've got no untouched books, I will be taking a lot more time over my colouring. That's when I'm going to practice doing my really good smooth shading. I'm going to practice a lot more with some of the media I've not used a lot. Don't worry, I'm making sure I'm enjoying all my pages in November and December, but I'm just, you know, I'm just colouring them to my usual standard and enjoying it. I'm not really studying anything new until New Year. 1 second. Hello. Oh, lovely. Thanks ever so much. See ya. I don't know what that is. I'll have to wait till later. Well, I love, you start getting this sort of self-burnishing happening with the Luminance. But I like that. So that's the petal done in Luminance. And if you're interested, this is 115. Did I mention names? I don't think I did. Quinacridone Purple. Now, I'd love to know how that's pronounced properly. Quinacridone Purple 115 and Ultramarine Pink 083. Right. This is the exciting bit. Oh, 4 months I've been waiting. Quite excited. Alright, I took a short break there while I fed Rocket, because I could hear him whining not long bringing back from his walk. So he's caught his breath, and as soon as he's caught his breath, he wants his breakfast, even though it's lunchtime. So here, yes, 4 months I've been waiting for this experience to find out. You'll notice I'm quiet because, in fact, I don't know whether in edit I'll have to fast forward through that, because otherwise you're just gonna scroll on to the next video thinking I've fallen asleep. But yeah, I went very quiet then because yes, they are different. They are different. Again. Now whether, and I'm still thinking about this, so stay with me as my thought process is, you know, going through its process. until it gets to completion and I know what I think. But where's my little brush? Where's my wee brush that I use to... Need to get one of them proper brushes. I'm using a watercolour brush at the minute. Now then, this is very different to what I was expecting. And I'm still forming my thoughts. And I'm sure, you know, don't be yelling at your blooming phone screen at the way I'm shading. You know, just give me some time. I'm working on it. It's my first time with Prismas. And don't worry about edges. I've got a rubber. Well, what do you think? Tell me in the comments now before we move on. You can kind of put time on screen that you're commenting. Or you know what time where video is. At this time, what do you think I am thinking at this moment? What do you think I'm thinking? Right, I'm going to go back on all three. I might even go do another petal with all three. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, I'll just give you a little close-up. This isn't my best work, but... So we've got... Let me just have a look in the camera myself so I can see what you're looking at. So we have got Derwent Chromaflow, Caran Luminance, Prismacolor Premiers. And this is my conclusion, or things I've noticed. The Chromaflow is buttery, but it somehow feels a tiny bit drier than the other two. The Caran Luminance is lovely and buttery, but it more quickly gets to the point of kind of like burnishing itself, if that makes sense. Maybe I need to experiment a little bit more on maybe with a lighter hand with the Luminance. I don't know. It's not a bad thing because I'm really happy with the way. I don't mind how all three look. To be honest, I don't mind how all three of those petals look. The Prismacolor, I think, is fantastic. I think they're all great pencils, and to be honest, what a shame Prismacolor can't do what Chromaflow do and just give us that little bit of extra class on the pencil itself. The Prismacolor, I mean, but that don't matter, that's just an aesthetic thing. The Prismacolor went down really, really nice and blends lovely, doesn't it? And how vibrant. Now, I didn't press harder, did I, with these? How vibrant and in your face is that colour? That's the the pigment. The impact of the pigment from the Prismacolors straight away was, I mean, the slightly different colours. You can see this is more muted, isn't it, the Luminance one. But yeah, I have to say, I do think if I were making a judgment based on just colouring in two petals, I would say the Prismacolor, purely for colouring in, where all the interest is at this end of the pencil and we're not looking at this, I would say the Prismacolor Premiers are better than the Derwent Chromaflows. So, yes, that is interesting. I don't feel like I've wasted my money with Chromaflows, don't get me wrong, because would you notice a difference if you were just new to colouring? Probably not. I don't think so. There's not much between them. These just feel a touch drier. These are a lot more buttery. I do think the Caran feel the softest, but they do. Like it, I don't think the Caran want me. I don't think they want to have any more layers put on them. Well, am I just not being firm enough? It already feels like I've burnished it. Do you get what I mean? You can hear the telltale squeak of the burnish, can't you? Maybe I just went in too heavy with them to start. But when I'm colouring, when I'm physically colouring in the moment of shading back and forth, this is my favourite pencil. So the way it feels, the Luminance feels better in my hand. You know, apart from when you need to get to this bit where it's already burnished itself, you know, as soon as you put it down, that feels soft. I'd say that's the softest, most butteriest. Let me do it. Do you know what? I'll fast forward you. I'm new to Luminance though, you've got to remember that as well. I've only had them a few weeks. So I've only done maybe 2 pages with them. On my third. Oh, I've done it wrong way around. Don't matter, does it? Use my lighter colour first, I never usually do that. I don't see as it matters. Yeah, these are good pencils. I like Prismacolor. I do. And if I'm honest, I thought I was going to be saying, yes, they're alright. They're just like the Chromaflows. But the Chromaflows are prettier to look at and they've got a better quality barrel. And they're known to have less breakages. Tell me your thoughts. Do you get a lot of breakages with Prismacolors? Yeah, I've done this petal backwards. Don't think I haven't noticed. I have. Yes. Yeah, they're really nice. I do like them. So, I officially get the hype. I do. Didn't think I would be saying that, in all honesty. I did think they would be good, because that many people can't be wrong, surely. We're not in a weird Jim Jones cult where we're all like lemmings just following somebody, whatever somebody says, are we? So yeah, I knew that many people couldn't be wrong, but I didn't think there would be that much of a difference. And I'll never show, you know, one thing about recommendations you always have to remember is, if I get a recommendation, I always say to people, what other pencil sets do you have? Because people always, they want to join in the conversation. We're all the same, we're humans. We want to be part of something. So when somebody asks for recommendations, even if we've only got Prismacolors, we'll say, oh, I love my Prismacolors. But they've never compared it to anything else. So when you get recommendations, always say, what other pencils do you have? So that's why I say, if you've got these 3 brands of pencil, what do you think about the comparison? Let me know. If you love Prismacolors, whether you've got other pencils or not, tell me why you love them. What do you love about them? I think I can get through. I think I can colour. I think I can get to the same stage quicker with a Prismacolor. That's what I'm thinking. I should try this on a different paper. In fact, I'm going to have a quick go. If you don't mind sticking with me, because this is interesting, isn't it? This is really good quality paper. Let me use something middle, what would we say is a bit middle of the road? I don't want to go like as an RJ or anything like that, you know, on Amazon paper. I don't want to go that far. Ooh, what about a mythographic? Let's go for a mythographic. Wild Summer. There ain't going to be any test pages in it. Oh, that'll do. Do we reckon this is the same paper as this bit here? Yes. Yes. So, sorry about this. We like to fly by the seat of his pants here at Piggy Pen's Tube. So I'm going to just do a couple of little... Oh. This paper's too toothy, I think. Not too toothy, but it's very good quality thick card paper. I like how this feels actually. So these are the Derwent Chromaflows again. You normally see people blending that way, don't you, coming in this direction, but I'm just thinking if I were doing them petals, I would be going in this way. So yeah, this is, do you know what? Different papers is worth testing on. These Chromaflows feel great. They do. If you're a Chromaflow owner, you've got a nice pencil, haven't you? You probably know this. You probably know this already. I should be sharpening these again, really. They're a bit blunt now. If it were my polys, I'd be keeping them like a knife point. Yeah, Chromaflows feel nice. They do. They do. Don't mind them at all. Okay. Luminance. And again, exciting times here with the Prismacolor. Yeah, these are a great pencil. Definitely. I understand. I hear you loud and clear. Pressing on a bit hard because I'm just impatient. I should be sharpening my pencil as well. All right, Rocket. Again, just remember that this is not a tutorial. Don't shade like I do. Watch somebody who knows what they're doing. Wonderful shaders you've got, wonderful blenders. Caran at My Country, Colourful Country Life, of course. I don't watch much of this lady's content because I've just not got round to it. I'm always watching other people. But Shell's colouring journey, is it? She's got some good shading going on, hasn't she? And Axic Fumbles. I don't know whether you're familiar with that, Annika, Axic Fumbles, but she doesn't colour in that same style. She colours more, she's more like an artist type colourist, if that makes sense. That's how I see her. But her shading is unbelievable. Check out just check out her completed pages for October. Axic, AXIK Fumbles. Yeah, I love Prismacolors. I love Prismacolors. So I am going to go as soon as I finish filming, to my Amazon basket and hit checkout. All 3 pencils are wonderful. There's no way in this world with my skills and what I'm colouring that I need the Luminance. I don't think probably any of us need them, but they do feel nice to use. I don't know whether, yeah, and I don't mind. You do get a different effect with them, don't you? Like I have. I think I need to look at how people are using these. I think they maybe take something. These two work in the same way. You can see that, can't you? I think. The Luminance are wonderful and I have enjoyed using them. And actually, when I've used them, I've loved the pages. So I must be doing something right with them. But they can have like an awkward stage where they feel like they're burnishing early, if that makes sense. I feel like I could put more on top of these two, whereas I can't with these. What does that mean? I'm new to this game, so if you know what's going on with that, should I be doing lighter layers with the Luminance maybe? Am I treating them too much like a wax pencil when maybe they need to be somewhere between, you know, very waxy and like my polychromos, would you say? But they feel buttery. They're lovely and soft, them, so I think they're probably the softest pencil. Prismacolors are just so silky, aren't they? Silky. Smushy and lovely. Yeah, I'm surprised. I did think I was going to just feel like I had a pack of 12 Chromaflows, but with just less quality in the barrel. But no, they are actually everything everybody says. So thank you guys. You have converted me. Not converted, but you know, now I've got an extra pencil to put in my rotation. So I will make, as soon as they arrive, whatever page I do next, I will do in full Prismacolor. So I'm excited. Fantastic. This isn't a bad little set as well if you want to try them out. I got this for 20 quid. It was cheaper than the others. You know, they had different sets in 12s. But the botanical one was just... Yeah, they're not very nice pencils to look at though, are they? It's like having one of those ugly dogs that you can't help but love. You know, where all teeth are wonky. Have you seen them on the internet? But boy, do they know how to colour a page, eh? I'm doing something right, told Prismacolor. American brand, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, but they're made in Mexico. Tin's made in China. I wonder how Donald Trump feels about that. Let's not get political. That's not what you come here for, is it? Right, guys, this has been a lot of fun. And I've now got some new pencils that are going to be coming. Fantastic. That's always a good thing. Thanks for joining me, as always. I hope it was of maybe some use to you. If ever you want to see, I don't do hauls and things like that because I don't know where you are in the world, but in UK there's a bit of a cost of living crisis. And I like watching hauls, so I sometimes think you should do a haul, Joe. But I don't do it because I just don't want to ever be influencing anybody to buy something. If it happens naturally, for example, if you fancy them Chromaflows after watching this video, then that's fine. But I don't know. I just like to be careful in that area because, you know, not that you'd know it from bloody how many knocks I've had on the door from Amazon, but there is a cost of living crisis on in the UK. I just live a very simple life outside colouring, and that's how I can justify it. All right, so happy colouring, happy rest of your week. And yeah, definitely, if you're like me, you didn't think you would like Prismacolors, maybe get yourself a little tin and try them out because I'm surprised. All right, ta-da for now.